Hey boys, it's Aki again, back with another Clash of Clans video. And before we start, I want to give you guys a special shout out. We just hit 300 subscribers. I'm so happy. I just wanted to give you guys a big thank you for all the support. I've been loving it. It's been so much fun posting, and we're going to keep growing this thing, and we're just going to have fun together. And for today's video, guys, I got a lot of recommendations on my previous video to do some more raid weekend 2-shots. It's easier for people to see, and they just want to see kind of my thought process behind these attacks. We'll start with Goblin Mines. But the one thing I will mention, yes, they are replays, but it's just much easier to show you guys with, because if I say do these live, because I'm switching through multiple accounts, it's hard to put together in the video. So I thought this would be nice, and then we could slowly walk through it, and we can do every district. So for Goblin Mines, I usually like to bring Sparky, but I always like to bring the 2 Rage. Reason being, you see this compartment with the single Inferno? It's so compact with the Rage spell between the Crusher and the Goblin Thrower, it can kind of chain link all these down. And then I'll have Battle Rams kind of just for tanking the single Inferno. That's pretty much what I'm doing. And then the Goblin Thrower, you can zap when it's down, all those goblins that come out of it. If any come behind that, you can have a Barbarian down to help you out. Then my next rage goes between the Spear Throw and this Crusher here, just to chain through any of these defenses, and then this Giant Cannon. And then up top is usually 2 Giants and a Wizard to take care of it, but I messed up and brought a set of Archers. So, let's watch this. There goes my rage. There goes the second rage. Here it comes. Battle Ram, then I'm going to put Sparky right away, and then these Battle Rams on the right-hand side here, just to slowly funnel and get them in, just to tank for that single target Inferno, because that you don't want to lock on your Sparky, because right now I don't have any hogs or anything like that. So I'm dependent on those doing it for me. That's why I put that Barbarian down, is because the Inferno's such low health. I thought it was going to go down, but it does. But it goes down to the Battle Ram Barbarians. So now here we go. Up top, I'm going to put the 2 Giants. But you'll notice they're not going to do much because I needed the Wizard. The Wizard chains through the Spear Goblins that come out of the Goblin Thrower. But it's not going to do something too bad because I'm not too worried about it. My second attack's usually pretty powerful with this army, so we're not too worried about it. But usually you should bring a Wizard. That's what I wanted to say. But look, I brought a set of Archers, and still not too bad. Then I'm just kind of getting that Mega Tesla down because it was 1 shot away because my Sparky wasn't under rage. Maybe my rage wasn't the greatest, but it gets the job done. And then up top, it's done. Spear Throwers, Spear Goblins come down. I'm going to take care of those with Barbarians just because I'm worried with my Sparky getting less than, like, it's what, almost 30% health now. So I need to put Barbarians down to tank for that Giant Cannon. And then once that Multi-Mortar goes down and that Giant Cannon goes down, I always bring a Skeleton Barrel to drop right here, right after it goes down. And then I put an Inferno right leading straight directly into the Blast Bow, just to take that out. You'll see, and it works perfectly well, always. I love it. So I'll speed through the rest of this. Here it goes. There goes Skeleton Barrel, Inferno Dragon. Takes that all out. And boom. We're looking at almost close to a 7k hit on the first time. So, check this out. Let's go to the second hit. Same army usually I bring, just because I could have probably brought in a minor spam, but I'm like, you know what? I want to be safe. I had a pretty good first hit, so let's just play it safe. So Rage goes down to get through all those defenses, Battle Rams, Giant, just to kind of clean that up. And then at 12 o'clock, I'm going to use my 2 Giants that I have with a Barbarian and set Archers to clean that up. And then you'll notice here, Spear Thrower, this multi-cannon, I'm just going to put a Skeleton Barrel to also take care of this Goblin Thrower. And then everything just leads up the center, and we should be good. Nothing too crazy. I'll start speeding up because the rest of it is kind of just cleanup. Because the first part of the attack, when you get 7k on the first hit, you don't really have to worry too much about the second hit. And look, 2 Barbarians, 2 Battle Rams, and my Inferno Dragon don't even need. I just swagged them just because I had time on my side, and I'm like, I'll just take it for the bonus loot. So, pretty easy. Definitely give it a shot. But on Goblin Mines, guys, really, bring the Rage spell and the haste, and the Sparky instead of the haste. I just find it's easier. Now, let's move over to Skeleton Park. The first hit on Skeleton Park, when it's so spread out like this, I always like bringing the Golem. Because this is the stock form of this district. Yes, you could probably try and one-shot it. You could learn that. But the thing is, I know a lot of the people that watch me don't want to focus too much time on spending learning one-shots. Because it can take a long time. And I can do it. But put in the comment section if you want me to do the one-shot videos, I can. But it's totally up to you. But I want to just share easy 2-shots. So when you see districts like this that are super spread out, and especially for Skeleton Park, I always go to the Golem. It's the main one I use the Golem on, and then depending on other ones, I can use it. But for Skeleton Park, it's mainly I like to use the Golem. And one thing, like I've said in my previous video, that I do different than most players, I think, because even the ones in my clan, they don't do it as much as I do. Once my Golem down goes early, I don't want damage on him right away. So I start putting down Barbarians. I put my Battle Rams down early to trigger traps. I put my Hog Riders down because I know my Golem's going to last a while. So if I can keep him up early, at the end part of the attack, when all my other troops are down, he'll be close to full health. And then I don't have to really worry too much about him. Like, look, the rest of my troops trigger all the traps, the bombs. Look at all those zap traps, everything like that, right? And now my Golem, I'll put into 4 times because it's only my Golem up. We're at 30% right now. Look what he gets us to. It's insane. Because I kept him up to close to full health at the start of the attack, the rest of the attack, it's not too hard. He gets the minion hive down. Look, he gets a multi-cannon. He's going to get the air bombs. He's going to get the air defense, Mega Tesla, everything. And look how far he gets. He even gets to the giant cannon. Like, he gets this whole compartment taken care of. Look. Boom. That multi-cannon. And then even turns into the wizard. And look. And then his bomb goes off. 7k hit again. Crazy, right? But I'll show you the second hit. Look. We could have brought in the Golem again. But come on. 3.7k. I'm feeling kind of lazy. So I'm like, I'm going to huck down miners. Going to get my frost spells in. Don't really care. I'll go to 4 times speed. Look, boom. I zap it out. I zap out of a single cannon just for fun. Because I know 3.7k, when you have a 7k first hit, you don't have to worry too much about the second hit. But like for Goblin Mines, it was like 4.5k. So I was just like, you know what? I'll play it safe. This one, I don't really care because I know miners can do the job. So, boom. Done. And then moving on to Golem Quarry. Again, this isn't stock form. So yes, it can be one-shottable. The reason I'm not is because this is a 2-shot video, and this is for people that just want to get their 2 shots in. They're not too worried about learning 1-shots. That's it. So for this district, the best thing for me is I love to bring Hog Riders, Super Miners, and then Battle Rams to tank, and then the Graveyard spell. Reason being, because the Super Miners can go under walls, it's really good for this rocket. Right here. This blast bow. Because it can take that out. And then I'll zap this stuff just to put some damage on it. And then in dead zones, like say between here, I put down my graveyard and then a graveyard here. Because it just makes it easier so then the blast bows are just shooting there. The rocket artillery is shooting there. Spear throwers are shooting there. And they're not really focused on your hog riders and such. So there goes that zap down. I'm going to put my graveyard spells down. Just kind of in dead zones there. Nothing too crazy. Nothing fancy. And then I'm going to put my super miners in to take care of the blast bow. There they go. Now that they're doing that thing, I'm just going to put some battle rams in. Just for some slight tanking. They're not doing anything too insane, but I want them to get started before putting my hog riders down because I want the graveyard spells to start spawning skeletons. And now that they do, here comes my hog rider slowly. I see that blast bow's open, right? And I want to take care of it. So I save 2 hog riders, open it up. There goes my 2 hog riders, stun them so they don't get any damage off on the other hog riders. And then boom. The rest of my troops are down. And look, I can sim through the rest of this because they get through a lot. I think they get over close to 7-ish K again almost. I think I even get to the 8K mark. I don't remember exactly though. I think once that rocket artillery goes down, they get even more. Do we get 8K? I think it got really, really close. Yeah, there you go. See, 8.2K on the first hit. Super easy. And then because, just for transparency's sake, I would usually skip it, but I'm like, no, you guys should see it. Look, I just used the same army again, just because I'm having fun. Spam down all my troops. They kind of cleaned up the rest, like the 14K that's available with the bonus I'll have. Boom. Done deal. And I saved the 3 barbarian just because I'm like, I don't need to be spamming that down. Okay? That's what I usually use for that. And then let's go to actually Balloon Lagoon, because this is one of my favorite districts to hit. And this one and Builder's Workshop is usually the Haste Graveyard Sparky. It's the 2 best districts I find to use this attack strategy, because Sparky has to move a lot around the base. So once that Q hits, I know I need to use Haste over Rage. Rage is, yes, you could probably try to use it here because it's so compact, but I don't know. Haste Graveyard works so much better, I think, in my opinion. So I put my 2 barbarians just to get some cleanup going, Haste down, and then I'm going to have a battle ram, my giant, and then my Sparky, just in that order, just to get some tanking in. So there goes Sparky in. And now from here on in, put my graveyard spells down, get Sparky smoothly going. And one thing that goes on, that's actually a mistake. I want my Sparky to go up into here and lead into this single inferno. But because I didn't do a great job of taking these out, I'm a little slow because this is why I put down the skeleton barrel, and then you'll notice I put, no, sorry, not a skeleton barrel. I'll put down a hog rider and 2 barbarians, is because I want to clear those out so Sparky veers off to the right, not the left. But now it bounces left. It's not too crazy, and it won't affect my attack that much, but it just, the deployment zone's not really opened up to the left there, so that kind of made it a little bit difficult. So now, as I see Sparky locking onto that multi-cannon, I'm like, okay, that wall's going to go to really low health, so I'll put 2 giants in now when it gets off the second shot, so they can jump in head of Sparky. And now I'm just doing some slight tanking, skeleton barrel, and just mainly for those infernos, but now because I don't have much tanking, they're going to lock onto my Sparky and take it out. And now you're probably thinking, Akash, what did you just do? You have 6.6k still left to deal with. But what I'll say is Haste Graveyard Sparky is the best on the second hit because you don't have to bring a second haste. You only need, now you can bring like a frost spell. You can bring whatever you want. You could bring a third graveyard, but I usually like to bring a frost because look at this. I've got close to almost, 12 defenses almost in there, including the rocket artillery, stuck in there, and then I can use graveyards for the single infernos. I don't even need to frost them. I'm not even worried about them at all because I can just tank for them. And then I'll go to 2 times because the rest of this is just me kind of tanking, slowly putting battle rams. That's the gist of this attack. Be slow with it. Actually, I'll slow it down just because I don't want to rush too much. Don't worry about learning this attack right away. Do it in friendly challenges. Learn it. Be careful with it. Don't just be like, oh, that seems easy, I'll just spam it down. No, you got to be a little methodical with it. You got to tank for your Sparky. Be careful. Use giants for tanking key splash damage infernos, and then use battle rams to tank for point defenses. That's usually the best. That's the key thing I'd like for you guys to remember is giant, key splash damage, big defenses. Think big defenses. Point defenses, cannons, spear throwers, those such things, multi-cannons and stuff like that. Think I want to tank with them for battle rams. That's my best piece of advice. And then hogs on the right hand side just to clear that air bomb, just to make the attack go quicker. I'm not too worried about time, but you still want to be kind of quick and not get too much damage on your Sparky. But my Sparky's close to 60-70% health, so I get that bonus as well. Boom. There goes Balloon Lagoon. A 6.6k hit with the bonus. We're close to 7,000. So, now let's go to Builder's Workshop. Again, Haste Graveyard Sparky. That and Builder's Workshop, Balloon Lagoon, so easy to do this. And look, super clumped up. And the reason being, you're like, Akash, why didn't you bring a rage? I thought when it's clumped up, you can bring rage spells. And yes, you guys are right. But I see these so clumped up, I'm like, you know what? Haste I need because it's so spread out, so I need to move around a lot. They're clumped up, so how do I like create tanking? I'm like, well, battle rams could be good, but that's why I use the graveyard spell over the rage spells because they're so clumped up that graveyard's going to help cover all these defenses on this compartment, and then I can do the same thing on the right hand side. So, look, I start here, haste spell down. There goes my graveyard. It's going to tank for all those. Get some battle rams in, just to start getting those skeletons out of the graveyard spell. And then there goes my Sparky. So, Sparky kind of does her thing. I get battle rams just to start opening up the deployment zone. Giant in just to also help. Just tank. And because there's so many key point defenses there, I'm going to also bring in a giant and then battle rams as well. Because there's a lot of damage. In case it locks onto my Sparky could kind of get melted by all of that. Because I don't have anything to reset them onto, say, skeletons and such. So, that's why I keep funneling the giants slowly and steady. But my Sparky's doing so much damage. It's taking those out like it's nobody's business. And look, that Spirit Thrower was locked onto my Sparky, so I was like, you know what, I'll throw in a Barb there. Boom. Let's go to 2 times because now it just kind of cleaned that up. There goes a... Now, I'll mention one of my mistakes too. That graveyard spell, kind of sus. Probably could have been better in front of, like, say, even at this... you know what? I probably should have put it on this mortar. That way the blast bow would have shot at it. This giant cannon would have shot at it. This giant cannon and these key point defenses. So learn from my mistake there. Because the one over there where I put by the blast bow doesn't do much. It's nothing crazy, but... Because I know I'm not going to one-shot it because I saw that early. So I was just like, it's all good. I'll use it for the second hit, and then I can be a little more careful with my graveyard spells for the second hit. And then we'll speed through the rest of this because it's pretty much done. 5k left. You guys know that's my buffer zone. And with that, the second hit, I'm usually not too worried about. And here we go. And then because we've already used a haste spell, I can use a frost spell for this one. Look at this. I got 2 cannons in there, 2 spear throwers, a multi-cannon, 2 giant cannons, and the rocket artillery. And the blast bow, sorry. I always get those mixed up. But see, because with that and then 2 graveyard spells, there's the dead zone I should have put it in. Because the mortar's down now, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Now I'm kind of having fun with this attack. I'm getting a little cocky, so I'm putting my troops down pretty quickly. And then I'll speed through the rest of this, because there's so much tanking up. I can even actually swag some of my troops because I don't really need them. Because I'm looking, I'm like, oh, do I need these battle rams? No, because there's like a million little skeletons, little barbarians, little hog riders still going, 2 giants still up. But notice, you always got to be careful. This is why I didn't sim it, just in case, because I was like, look how many traps go off here. Obviously, it's not the end of the world, but still, they go off. That's taken care of. And now, moving on to Dragon Cliffs, this is one thing I want to point out. Dragon Cliffs, you see compactness, you think rage, and then you also don't do double rage. Because if you brought a double rage, it kind of doesn't allow you to have proper tanking. So for this, I bring the Sparky again, but I bring 3 skeleton barrels. That's to distract the Inferno Dragons, to kill them with my own Inferno Dragon. So get some graveyards in, some dead zone. There goes my first skeleton barrel, just a tank for that Inferno. My Inferno Dragon locks onto theirs, takes it out, hopefully. That's the goal. And then you're going to see my Rage spell come down between that cannon and that Wizard Tower, just because I see my my Sparky going up top, and it doesn't want to go to like from the left here. So I'll break it at her in, and then that Inferno Dragon locks onto the Super Dragon. But be careful. These Super Dragons kind of get a little bit annoying because they start veering off. So don't panic in case one of your Inferno Dragons doesn't take it out. Use the second one, third one, and so on and so forth. So don't be too careful about it. Don't like worry too much. Oh man, it's not going as I want. It's all good. And then just tank for your Sparky. There goes my Skeleton Barrel. This one's just for tanking. I wasn't actually doing it for an Inferno Dragon. Just because I really wanted to get down the Blast Bow. I'm not too worried about the second hit because I'm like, it got out what I wanted. It got out those early dragons. And then up top here, I put my Skeleton Barrel. I should have put an Inferno Dragon there to try getting their Super Dragon. But I put it down here just to help out my Sparky a little bit to keep her up. But we got almost to that 5k buffer point for sure. Because it's at 5100. And then with that, boom, we're at the 5k. Speed through the rest of this because Sparky's pretty low health. That's taken care of. Then, second hit. Okay, for the second hit, you can decide. I decide to bring miners, and you're like, okay, why'd you bring 3 barbarians and 2 battle rams? That's pretty much just to ignite those skeleton spells, skeletons from the graveyard spell. Because I don't want to bring all just miners. I want to have the skeleton spells kicking around just to annoy those dragons. If you were a little worried and you're like, oh, you know what, Akash, I don't trust myself. This 5k seems a little bit too much. You could bring a golem for the second hit if you want, and just because Golem's got so much health, it can tank through all those. Bring a haste frost spell, get the Inferno taken care of, and then just have skeleton barrels, Inferno Dragons just to zap out those Super Dragons. But because I know this isn't going to be too bad, I get my battle rams in, get some barbarians in, hopefully get them killed early just so I can start spawning skeletons, and then the rest of this kind of washed. Because I don't know, for me, when my first hit went so well, because I was happy with all the value I got, I'm not too worried about the second hit. I know miners can take care of this, even after all the nerfs they've gotten. You just got to be more selective, got to be more careful. That's what I got to say. Like, yes, super miners can be still viable, but you got to be a little bit more, I don't want to say it, like wary, like kind of, I would say, just be more careful. And then let's turn our attention now to Wizard Valley. Here, look at this. What are you guys thinking? See all that compactness in that core there? Rage spell. Need some tanking as well because there's 2 Infernos right there. I'm like, okay, this is Rage Graveyard. Easy peasy. And then for this one, you're like, oh my god, 18 battle rams? Yeah, because there's so many defenses clumped up, Inferno Towers clumped up, I need extra tanking, and I don't think the Giants would have done me justice, so I thought battle rams would be better. And then, I won't speed through too much, but here goes 2 Giants early, battle rams in as well. Be really careful. Those cannon carts are going to be nasty towards your Sparky. So that's why I'm getting in my battle rams really quick, because I saw 2 of them there. I'm like, oh my. But once a Sparky gets under rage, they do a lot of damage and they can pretty much one-shot them. So I'm not too worried about it, and that's why I saved the 2 barbarians there, because under rage, they take care of the cannon cart pretty easily. And now, from here on in, pretty much just supporting your Sparky with battle rams. Slowly, steady, there they go. Be quick with it, have some fun. Like when I get down to 4, I think I just spam them in pretty much. Just because I'm not too worried about the rest of the attack. Look, they go in. Now I'll speed through the rest of this because now it's just pretty much my Sparky having fun, getting that Inferno taken care of. It still hasn't locked on because I did a pretty good job. And look, it's full health. I could have been a little more careful. This is why you don't spam in those battle ramps like I did, because you could have probably got it a little further. But I was just like, you know what? I already got 5k, and now I'm not worried about the second hit. So, second hit, check it out. Same thing I did for Dragon Cliffs. I brought in those 2 barbarians in the battle realms just to get those skeleton spells up. And then super miners. Come on, get the frost down. I get another frost spell down on the Inferno and that cannon carter up top. And then rest, just get some battle rams in, get them killed, and then tank for my super miners. And they kind of just clean up and they play garbage duty because they clean the rest of this base up pretty easy. Obviously, I'll go to 4 times speed because you don't have to just watch super miners work their way through this, because it's super easy for them. Because I did the first hit's really the important one because I got all those key defenses out in the core, and then I know my frost spells can do what I need for the next hit. So let's move on to our last district, Barbarian Camp. This one may be for you guys the toughest, I'd say. Some of you guys have complained about this one's the one you struggle with. And then you're like, okay, Cash, now I'm getting confused and I might write some mean comments. Why aren't you bringing Rage? Because it's so compact. Guys, because I know Sparky has to move around, adjust real quick. So I'm like, you know what? No, let's bring in the haste. Have her moving quickly. Because I know I'm going to need tanks quickly too. That's also what I take into account. I don't just need haste on my Sparky, but I can have it on my Giants to also protect me through the first part of the base. First part of the base, because there's so much damage on her. So, getting a battle ram, getting a barbarian. There comes my Giant under haste too. Speeds through there, tanks for all these defenses. I was hoping and intending for my Sparky to go left, but then I'm like, you know what? That's actually kind of a good thing. I'll start with my skeleton spell there, so those Giants won't actually focus on my Sparky. They'll focus on, say, a Giant or just like skeleton spells. Graveyard spells, sorry. Check this out. Sparky doing her thing. Now I'm not too worried about it. She's getting into this little core junk that I wanted. Now I'm just going to support with battle rams. It's going to go through. I'll go to 2 times speed because now it's just slow down here because I want to show you. Look, Giant's tanking. Sparky doing her thing. I still got a Giant. I've still got 4 battle rams. Put them all down because now I'm having fun with it. I'm like, you know what? Sparky's close to full health. She's getting exactly where I want her to. My Giants are doing their thing. Graveyard spells doing their thing that they need to do. They're getting the job done. Speed through the rest of this. Get that Giant cannon down, hopefully. That's a goal. Sparky's still close to full health. Look, it was full health, but because I ran out of tanks and these Giants onto it, she gets killed pretty easily. But it's a 5k hit, 5k left. You guys already know. I don't need to tell you. 5k actually, because Sparky gets 1 more hit off, we get 6k. So, with that, not much left. Come on. I bring in the same attack, but with a frost spell, because now I can... It's so much easier because now with that frost spell, because I don't need the haste, obviously, I can just kind of put some more graveyards down. Now I got a total of 4 graveyard spells up. Now just slowly, I honestly quickly just putting some troops in. Watch Sparky do her thing. Because now so many skeletons are spawning that even tanking becomes easy for the second hit. So really be just careful on your first hit. The second hit, you guys will have a lot of fun. And I'll pause here because I want to explain something. Because there was no splash damage, that's why I'm also being reckless deploying everything. Because look, there's mortars are all taken care of. It's now just single point defenses and Giants. So now I can just spam everything in and just have some fun. And look, 2 Giants and 6 battle rams are just going to be swagged because I don't need them. I'm just watching the rest of this attack. Time was easy. Time was on my side. And look, get through that super easy. And done deal. Look at that. All for bonus. And that's all those districts taken care of and easily 2-shotted. So guys, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comment sections. Let me know if you want to see more Raid Weekend videos because Raid just started. I have still so many attacks left. I'll show you this quickly just to highlight it. I've already got a 49,000. That was with trying to do one-shots. I got one off in Builder's Workshop. So if you want to see anything like that, let me know. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.